Thank you, Bong, for joining us. Firstly, we just wanted to ask, what would you tell the incoming people about what to expect being an assessor, and including the time commitment required?
Yes, you should expect good things and scary things as a peer. So I'll expound on that later in terms of time. It depends how many applications you need to assess. So I've had to assess in previous years 137 or 150 applications, and you will have to read them seriously. So you have to allocate a few days for that amount um, of application. Sometimes for some panels and some rounds there aren't as many, but you still need to read them seriously or meticulously. I think you might spend 10 minutes or more on some applications. Some take longer. Some of the support material uh, is, can be lots, lots and lots of them. I think the videos are limited now to a few minutes, but if you want to assess applications well, you'll have to give it time to allocate as much time as needed. What you can expect, some of the good things, of course, is you learn about the field, what your peers are doing, what the problems are, what the successes are, what the innovations could be, and what might not be happening or moving along forward. Some of the not so nice things, of course, would be stress. Um, in my case, I want to fund nearly everyone, except, of course, those that aren't eligible or not, that don't pass the criteria. But most of the applications, I must say, are reasonable. Some are excellent, but I've rarely seen really bad applications. So my tendency would be to let's fund everyone, but it's not possible because there's not a lot of funding available to go around. So that to me might be the most stressful part of being a peer, is you wanting to support most or all of your peers, but it's not just possible given the resources that are available. Uh, there are, of course, other things you need to prepare for, but I think the other questions might address that.
Thank you. Yeah, so does everyone agree in the assessment meeting? And what should you be prepared for as you come into that meeting?
No, not everyone agrees, not all the time. I think there's always discussion about applications, and this is the I guess the exciting thing about that, because you bring peers from different backgrounds and sometimes different fields of practice, even in the same general category. So you will get various perspectives and points of view, and you learn a lot, especially from debate. Uh, what you should be prepared to do, of course, is listen. First of all, you need to listen quite closely and carefully and respectfully to the different points of view. Secondly, you need to be prepared to your stuff. You have to say what you think, what you feel. You have to be honest and frank and not be afraid because sometimes you with some of the peers, some of them are intimidating, of course, because of their long experience and their uh, and their standing in the field. So um, you tend to be careful and respectful, but you need to be engaged because you are there because you also have experience and something to contribute. So you're not there merely to watch your other peers discuss and make decisions. So you have to listen, but you also need to speak up and um, reach some sort of agreement. It's not always unanimous. The decisions, they're not always. It's not a consensus thing. Sometimes you just need to vote. It's more pleasant if you can agree based on a consensus. but it's not practical sometimes. You just need to vote. And so you need to be prepared for that. Um, Sometimes you need to let go of any ideas of perfection um, or fighting or asserting a certain notion of excellence, because there are excellences. It's plural. It's not just one. So you need to recognize that what might be your preference for what is excellent might not be the only excellence that's relevant in any given situation. So I think you have to learn. You have to be open to learn, and sort of be a wabi-sabi person sometimes. Embrace imperfection, because there is beauty in that, and it is wise to move forward, move ahead rather than stand still and argue all day.
And can you describe the impact of being a peer assessor has had on your personal and professional development?
It has been invaluable in my case. It has been. I have enjoyed and have benefited immensely from being a peer, especially because of the learning you get from not just your colleagues in the room and from the staff, um, and from the applications itself. You learn about what's happening in the field from the many good applications and from some bad ones too. You know what to avoid. So that wouldn't be possible with you just doing what you do where you are. In my case, if you're in Darwin, you're far from the other um, centers. In Australia, the nearest city to us is Dili in East Timor, for example. So if you want to be more aware of what's happening in Australia, as well as be aware of what's happening in Timor and other places to the north uh, and the east or wherever, it's really a good opportunity. You must seize the opportunities that these gatherings offer, because you get a lot of information that won't be available to anyone ordinarily, and you get the richness of discourse that is not available ordinarily. So if you are open to all of that, you learn a lot, you grow a lot, and to me that's been really important. It's shattered some of my stupid beliefs about our field and about myself as a practitioner. There will always be something new that you will learn, and there's something you must discard um, in the process of discourse and debate. So, i- because I don't think anyone stops learning, this is one of the best learning experiences I've had, and I would recommend it to anyone who gets offered the opportunity to contribute.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. And do you have any other advice for new assessors that you want to finish on?
Uh, I guess just do it. Just if you're asked to do it, it's because your peers and the staff and Creative Australia trust that you have um, contributions to make. So offer what you have, because you will get so much more in return for your contribution. So just do it. It'll be tiring and stressful and um, all of that, but it'll also be enjoyable and stimulating. So just jump into it and do it. That's all I can say about new peers. Of course, our colleagues in the field will be expecting a lot from peers in terms of decision making. Not everyone will be happy with decisions made, but you just need to be truthful and honest. And because if you have done your best in the assessments and in this course, and you've been honest, then there's no problem. People will be unhappy with some decisions. Some will be happy. The problem is, I think, still there are not enough resources and there's not enough importance paid to the arts and culture in Australia. So the more support and the more acknowledgement is given to the arts and culture in Australia, the more support and acknowledgement that our peers and our practitioners and everyone in our everyone in the country will benefit, because I believe Joseph Boyce says, every human being is an artist. And it is, of course, a human right is Article 27 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that everyone has the right to participate in the cultural and artistic life of the community. So until we get universal and consistent and regular support and acknowledgement for the arts and culture, then our work is not done. I think, and this is one way, maybe a small way, to contribute to that bigger picture that we want to achieve. I think that everyone is an artist, so everyone deserves support and acknowledgement for being an artist, and everyone should be allowed and given all the opportunities to make and share art.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.